The LIMEN Helix Gazette. 41 bushels averaged. Essay, Kansas, 2011 to 2023. On a number that remembers. There is a spiral notebook in the door pocket of my father's truck, the wire gone oval from 20 years of being pushed in and pulled out. The cover soft as cloth and furred along the edge. Every page is the same three things: a year, a field, a number. His handwriting is bad, and the numbers are not. He wrote them at the end of the row with the engine running and the door open and one leg out because you write it down while it is still true. And in 31 years, I have never once seen him do it afterward from memory. I rode the combine from when I was 7 on the arm of the seat, which you are not supposed to do, and which everybody's father let them do. My job was the notebook. He would say the number, and I would find the line and write it, and then he would look over to check, not at the number, at the writing. That was the whole of it. He never told me it mattered, and I understood that it mattered, the way a child understands which drawer is not theirs. By 12, I could have told you what every quarter had done since before I was born. I thought that was what farming was, growing it and then keeping the count of it. Federal crop insurance does not guarantee you a crop. It guarantees you a share of your own history. They take your actual yields, 4 years at a minimum and 10 at the most, and they average them. And that average is what you are permitted to insure. So a drought does not only take the year it happens in, it goes into the 10 and it sits there, and it pulls the average down, and the lower number is what stands between you and the next one. There is a provision to leave out a year when the whole county failed. It is real, and it is free. You have to know it exists and elect it, crop by crop and county by county, in writing, before a date in March that is not printed on anything that comes to your house. 2011 was 104 degrees for 11 days in July, and we cut 22 bushels on ground that had done 50. 2012 was worse, and everybody knows about 2012. Both numbers went into the notebook in my handwriting, because I was 15 and it was still my job. And they went into the average the same as any other number because they were true. Here's the part nobody explains and that I did not work out until I was 26. The bank lends against the guarantee. That is what the operating note is secured on, the number the insurance says you are worth. So when the guarantee came down in 2014, the note came down with it. We let the Vogel half go, which we had farmed on a handshake since 1988, and we cut the fertilizer on the rest, and you can guess what cheaper ground does to a yield, and where that yield then goes. It goes in the notebook. It goes in the 10. The hail in 2017 was a smaller disaster than 2012 by every measure you could put on it, and it hurt considerably more because there was less underneath it by then. My father did not say anything about that at the time. He drove out to the north half and sat in the pickup a while with the door open and one boot on the ground. And then he came back in and asked what was for supper. The agent is a woman named Roberta Kloss out of Great Bend, and she drove out in March of 2015 with a folder and sat at our kitchen table for 2 hours and 11 minutes, which I know because I was doing something at the counter and watching the clock and pretending not to. She went through the yield exclusion line by line, what it was, which years qualified, what it would and would not do. She was not paid for that visit. She is paid on policies written, and it would have taken her 20 minutes to write ours the ordinary way. It fixed nothing much. It took 2 of the worst years out of the 10, and the number came up some, and the ground was the same ground and the sky was the same sky. But my father put her card in the notebook, in the front, under the cover, and it is still there. And he has never once had to look up her number. I farm it now. He comes out for harvest and rides the arm of the seat, which he is not supposed to do either. I keep my own notebook and I keep it his way, at the end of the row, engine running, while it is still true. I know exactly what the number does. I know that what I am writing down this afternoon goes into the 10 and will still be sitting in it in 2033. deciding what I am allowed to protect, and that a good year written down honestly is the only thing that ever moves it back. I write it down correctly anyway, and I would like to tell you that as principle. The actual reason is that the alternative is writing down something else. This reading was produced with a synthetic voice. The writing is the paper's own.